I think the big problem that Aston Villa have got now is that they're going to go to Villa Park and their fans, rightly so, are going to get behind that team and they're going to push them on and they're going to expect them to be on the front foot. Against this team going on the front foot, the spaces open up. We saw the last goal there, a little space, a little glimmer of a space to play through. They get it through, and that's not even one of their wingers. That's the left back producing moments like that. This team is a real tough proposition now for this Villa team. It's not over by any means. Like I said, they've got players who can hurt this PSG team, and they've got a manager who knows his way around Europe, winning trophies. But this is a different PSG team that we've ever seen in this competition.
Yeah, the mental fragility that we've seen in PSG year on year, even with those superstars, but this is the year where it looks slightly different, doesn't it? Well, don't forget, there is more European as well with Morgan Rogers.
Yeah, they did, but I think that was a game plan from Unai Emery, just to sit back, absorb a lot of the pressure. But the big thing is you have to be a threat, you have to have quality, and that's exactly what they had through John McGinn being aggressive in a press, but just being cool, calm and collected at the right moment in time. You see here, he's got one thought in his mind, can I go and win the ball? But not that. He's now got his head up, he's looking at options. Rashford, I feel, he held that position relatively well at times, but Tielemans, good ball into him, and he's just got the presence of mind to lift his head, play it to the back post, and this is where you want Morgan Rogers, your other winger, getting in at the back post to finish it off, and it's an easy tap-in for him. But of course it was against the run of play. You're going to expect that playing here, but if you've got quality and you've got a threat with pace, you can score a goal.
And that's exactly what they did, and it looked good in that moment. But just a few moments later, it was Desiree Doué. I mean, what a player! You know, when you see someone so young, so fresh, he's here. He's not playing under any pressure. He's just looking forward to making his mark on the big stage.
Yeah, well, you always want a moment, didn't you? All young players, especially, they dream about a moment. Can I create a moment that everyone goes, wow, and I can announce myself? Here, there's a bit of space for him to get his head up. Then he's dictating this situation. He's owning where he's going to go. I'm going to come inside. You can't stop me, and I'm going to pick out the top corner. It was a phenomenal strike, and again, this crowd, every time he got the ball, even in the early parts of the game, it wasn't coming off for him a couple of times. You could sense there was an expectation with the crowd as to he can produce something, and by God, did he produce something today.
I just feel with the front three, they play with absolute freedom, and to be 19 years of age and play like that, I mean, it's scary for defenders. I feel for Morgan Rogers a little bit. Can he get out a little bit tighter? Well, he's an attacking player himself, ultimately as well. Can he play him down the line? Because that's what a full-back would try and do. Unfortunately, he gives him a yard, and that's all he needs.
Yeah, that is all he needs. And look, it was 1-1 at half-time. You knew that PSG would have a little bit more going into the second half. I suppose maybe you didn't expect it to come as quickly as it did, but when you've got a player like Kavica, Kvaratskhelia, and the skill that he has, the way he made this goal his own, Rio.
Yeah, and I think Ruiz's part in this goal, this ball here, don't underestimate how that good that's in the front of him, that's making him run onto things, and now again he's owning this situation. The roll was just nasty. He other than laying him out on the floor, he just takes him and eliminates him beautifully. But it's the silkiness with which I said this is Waddle reincarnated, and it's a wonderful finish on the left foot. This is probably the only place he scores this goal.
As a defender, that's what you dread. 1v1. Running back into your box, I think he's too square.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to show him down the line. As soon as you square up against somebody who's got that they can manoeuvre the ball that quickly, get it off to the side, and then we're finished like that. It's unstoppable.
He made Disasi look like a centre back playing out of position at right back, and that's what he made him look like there. And I think the first 10 minutes, I looked at Disasi and was thinking, if he could ask to come off right now, he wouldn't be far off doing it, because it's so difficult. They were flying down that side consistently all the time and making it really difficult for him.
And this is the thing with PSG, because you think it's always going to be the front men, but it's the wide men as well. And in the case of Nuno Mendes, it's your left back who kept Mo Salah quiet for the over like this. Let's take a look at it.
Oh, well, I said in comms, I think he's producing the best left back in the world form at the moment. In defensively, shutting down the Premier League's most potent striker, and then here today, sealing this tie for me with a wonderful bit of disguise there on his left foot. That you expect him, a left-footed player, to go and just strike in those areas, but the speed of thought and the guile whips it in the top corner.
Just pure composure from a full-back that's playing at the top level in the top of his game. I mean, the pace that he showed defensively, but not that, even in the early parts of the game, he was actually getting way forward and causing Villa a problem and allowing Kvaratskhelia to stay out wide. So, I mean, he thinks like an attacking full-back, but defensively, wow, he's just so strong as well.
But he's happy to go 1v1. That's what I loved about him when I watched him against Liverpool with Mo Salah. He wasn't going, no, I'll let someone come over. And we were saying sometimes you need to make it 2v1 to cover yourself, because sometimes your opposing player may be a bit quick thinker as well. He's saying, no, leave me 1v1 and I'll take that responsibility. And I'm happy to go man to man, and I'm going to come out the winner most of the time. But also, like Alan said, I'm also a threat going the other way. Can you follow me?
Yeah.
So it's great to have players like that. And I think Luis Enrique must be delighted with all the individuals, but the defenders want to be defenders in this team as well.
It's the audacity of how they defend and attack, isn't it, really? But do you think that defensive change made a big difference in the dynamics in that second half? Disasi coming on, Cash coming off. Do you think that exposed them in a way that they didn't want to be?
Yeah, well, look, I said at half-time that I was a little bit fearful about Matty Cash because he had been booked very early on, and when you're up against top quality opposition that can hurt you, they're going to run at you 1v1 a long time, as much as they can. So I get why Unai Emery made the decision to change. Me personally, I don't like Disasi out there. I think it is like a centre-half playing at full-back, so it's not for me. And again, we've seen that when you get twisted and turned up, it can be very difficult. So I understand why he done it, but I just don't think it was ideal. You look at them stats there, the authority that this Paris Saint-Germain team play with. We've seen them down the years have moments and players that can produce brilliant moments. They still have that, right? But maybe not with Galacticos, but players that can define games with moments. But it's the authority of like the Vitinhas in midfield, the Ruiz who control and dictate the tempo of this game, and really just make sure the opposing team stay back. You can't come out, and we're just going to start probing and probe. And what that does to the defenders or all the Villa players on the pitch, the legs, it saps the energy out of this team, and the inability then to be a threat the other way because of the tiredness, mentally and physically, having to defend all those, shuffle across the pitch one way, go up 5 yards, drop the other.
And you don't know where it's coming from either.
Yeah, it's
real. I think the turnaround's been incredible. It was as if at one stage they tried to get the Galacticos in to kind of buy it or try to buy it. It didn't work, and the transformation that's happened so quickly for a young, hungry side, with the enthusiasm to go out and just work hard, be determined, to put everything on the line, but also play with that little bit of freedom to go and create. I mean, it's just incredible to watch. To see it live, you're just like, wow.
One of I think the things that really I do marvel at is this Luis Enrique. He's got very good players, top players, enjoying working hard. That's a hard thing to get, you know. It's a hard thing to get players that want to be mavericks, players that want to be the goal scorers and the match that define matches, to enjoy the other part of the game. We saw Doué on the other edge of his box, defending, winning the ball. We saw other players, attacking players. Dembele, second balls. He won second balls today. Probably about 4 or 5.
Rio, the one that sticks out in my mind was Doué. He actually chases Rashford back into the corner late on, and then he breaks away with the